Watching a training assessment. Ben Raymond, Arizona State University, EDP 310, Ed Psychology for Non-Teachers, taught by Allison Whitman on assignment assessing learners. For my assessment, I decided to look within the organization I work in, Fox Restaurant Concepts, and observe as a server in training completes their final day in our company. We train new servers on a 4-day program where each day the server gets to shadow another seasoned server, learns our steps and standards of service, and takes a quiz on a certain portion of the menu to assess their menu knowledge. These concurrent quizzes help the trainers to see the progress of the new server during their week of training. This is referred to as a formative assessment, according to OB. On their last day, the server completes a final exam type assessment. They are also approved by the general manager by serving them in a mock guest simulation. The server serves the manager an entire meal as if they are a guest. The manager is assessing the server based on their table presence, personality, and likability, how well they complete our steps of service, asking certain questions, meeting time limits, and asking random questions about our menu. My manager, Cole Weidel, phone number 602-424-9500, generously allowed me to come in on my day off, April 14th at 2 p.m. in the afternoon, to join him on assessing one of our incoming servers. For the assessment, I would say that we employ a diagnostic test, which is used to measure mastery of specific skills, strengths, and weaknesses whenever the educator wishes to monitor student progress, according to OB. To evaluate our new server to see if they are ready to serve our guests to our standards on their own. For the purposes of anonymity, I will refer to the server as Steve. The final quiz. Before Steve served us, he has to take his final serving quiz. Now, at our store, this final quiz is nothing to be worried about because of its simplicity. Essentially, we want to make sure they have a basic knowledge of what dressing is, with which salad, answer guest FAQs, and general procedure. I think that this quiz does a good job of covering a guest's basic questions, but it needs improvement with knowledge on the menu. In particular, servers should know all the different allergens that are present in our food. I cannot count how many times servers are unsure if a sauce has gluten, or that our veggie patty has egg, soy, and dairy in it. When Steve finished his final quiz, Cole and I took our seats at our table, and we were ready to be served. The certification. As a reminder, the certification acts as a way for management to take a final check on an incoming server by role-playing as a guest. They act as a secret shopper, comparing the service to a list of times the server must hit, such as greeting a table by 2 minutes or having our drinks put on the table within 3 minutes. During the evaluation, Cole had to make sure that the new server was asking if we had been there before, explained our concept and the menu, mentioned any specials, and referenced our eBites program. When Steve came over to our table, we could tell that he was visibly nervous. Serving peers or coworkers can make one feel self-conscious or insecure on their performance. As I watched Steve complete his certification, he was meeting all the steps of service that he had been trained on 3 days prior. While he was being assessed, Cole took notes so that he could remember feedback that he wanted to give to Steve at the end of the meal. This was an important step for Cole to utilize because, as Kathy Hall references, it is important to allow time for individuals or groups to receive feedback on what they have learned at the end of the lesson. As our meal ended and Steve completed his certification, Cole gave Steve his notes on opportunities of improvement and on what he excelled with. We had a great guest experience and Steve passed his certification. Further discussion. In terms of how I think Fox Restaurant Concepts training program is conducted, my evaluation is that there is room for more accountability from the trainers and managers to ensure that trainees are secure in their knowledge before they hit the floor. As I previously stated, there is a need for the servers to be 100% certain of what could be a potential allergic reaction for some people. However, what I witnessed when these servers come on the floor is that they are still far from perfect. Many of them do not learn all the material simply by us quizzing them. They get through, quiz by quiz, and the information does not stick. Simply the act of repetition, visually seeing the food and matching what it looks like to what it was on the quizzes, allows the information to stick to the server's memories. It is like Hall says, where diagnostic assessments have a shortfall of being merely indicators and partial snapshots of achievement and not as a true representation of ability. Essentially, they get their initial knowledge in their first week and then apply and learn more as they go. Conclusion. By allowing me to be a part of the certification process for a new server, I was able to gain the perspective of what assessing someone is like from the other side. In my future development, I want to be able to replicate the different forms of assessment and then build upon them by following up with my trainees through pre-shift quizzes, asking random questions for engagement, and offering additional training sessions. Thank you.